Usually have to dodge traps and fight spiders to see this much old elven stuff. Talk to Isabella if you want to sell any of it. She'll get you a good deal.
Spoken like a veteran treasure hunter.
Yep, for gold and glory. The lords make runs no one else can. Isabella's undies would catch fire if she saw all this.
Bet you deal with a lot of nasty traps during those treasure hunts.
Yep.
What's the most complicated one you've dealt with?
Old elven armory. Had letters on tiles. Probably supposed to spell out the name of a god or something.
Probably?
I don't read elven. Found handholds in the ceiling and swung across.
That sounds more like a puzzle than a trap.
Ugh. Puzzles.
Ah, but puzzles give you a chance to test your wits, to prove you're smart enough to beat whoever designed it.
Ugh.
I ran into one while traveling with Varric. It had these 3 poles with sets of different size rings on 2 of the poles.
And you had to move the rings over to the 3rd pole, and the rings had to be sized right and crap?
Yes, you've seen it?
That thing is Vashadan.
So why do the Lords of Fortune care enough about dragons to have a dedicated dragon hunter?
Lots of great old crap ends up in dragon hordes.
Why do dragons care about gathering treasure? It's not like they go to the market.
Dragons like metals and gems. Anything glittery catches their eye.
So they're like really large magpies.
Kinda. And they live for centuries. Lots of time to gather a bunch of shiny crap. Plus all the gear carried by idiots who thought they could kill a dragon.
I'd appreciate it if you avoided fencing any of the elven artifacts unless Alara tells you it's okay.
Don't worry about that. The Lords of Fortune aren't thieves.
As a crow, I'm not the moral authority here. But if some lords don't think like you...
Nah. Anything we hunt is salvage. Old forgotten ruins and crap. And we make sure we're not screwing over a culture that lost it. That's what my mother does with the Kunari stuff.
So your mother appraises Kunari artifacts the Lords of Fortune find?
Yeah. She tells them how rare something is. How much it might be worth. Also tells them if they found something cultural.
Cultural?
You know, important. Stuff you don't want going to some rich noble's collection. The lords send that stuff back to the Kunari in Parvalin. They pay the lords a finder's fee.
Just a finder's fee?
Yep.
But the lords at the top could be charging anything for these artifacts and you wouldn't know.
I know what happened to the last lord who blotted contact. That's enough. The lords are good people. They helped my mother when she came here from Kantar. She got here with nothing but me and the clothes on her back. The only skill she had was Kunari history. The lords gave her work.
How does the Ravani Royal Guard feel about the Lords of Fortune?
They used to complain about us. But that was before the Antam invaded Ravane.
And now Ravane sees the benefits of having a bunch of heavily armed people on their side.
Same for the Pirate Armada. It's bigger than Ravane's official navy. But we're also helping save old artifacts. The Antam are burning ruins as they move south. We get artifacts out before the Antam destroy them. Magical stuff. Cultural stuff. Stuff you don't want to lose.
We should do this again. Grab a drink, share our tallest tales.
Okay, I was gonna go back to Ravane later. Got a thing to do for my mother. You can come along, if you want.
Do I need to be ready for combat? Or traps?
Nah.
Alright, just let me know when.
Hey, you heard of the Hall of Valor? It's a fighting arena with the lords.
Interesting.
Just tell me when you're ready.
This is it. No sign of the professor.
I hope he's here and that he doesn't mind us disturbing him. He is a senior necromancer. I don't... Oh!
Visitors! What a marvelous surprise! Any trouble with the lift? Our last guests were stuck for hours. Poor souls. Oh. Professor Emmerich Volkarin of the Morn Watch.
Hello, Professor. We've never met, well, in person, but I've been writing to you.
Belara, my dear girl, what a pleasure. Surely you didn't come all this way just to see me.
Actually, we did. You see, we need a Fade expert.
I'm Rook.
Charmed.
I didn't expect such a warm welcome. Considering.
Please, don't be put off. The workforce is perfectly harmless. I'd be pleased to continue our conversation after I tend to some small business here. I must investigate. Would you two mind accompanying me further into the shrouded halls?
Toward that screaming?
Something's gone awry in this part of the necropolis, Rook. The dead stir more easily than they should.
Are these wards?
Indeed they are. But what's caused the aphotic needles to fall into a slumber?
Oh, I'm pretty handy with artifacts. I can take a look.
That would be good of you, Belara. Your friends and I will press on.
Right, Professor. Good luck.
Movement up ahead.
Strange. These halls should be under the protection of the bell.
Is that a despair demon?
Fascinating, isn't it? They shouldn't be able to breach the shrouded halls at all.
Take your word for it.
discover why that spirit manifested here.
Lead the way, Professor.
Someone's barred the door and chained the sunken star.
There's undead here.
We may need to defend ourselves, depending on their condition.
Haven't fought undead in a while.
There's no reaching these. They're lifeless.
Aren't you a necromancer?
I'm afraid sometimes the weaker dead work themselves into frenzies. Poor things. I must free that bell.
Need some help?
Thank you. The star, the bell, can banish these despair spirits if we unchain it. We'll need a wisp to unseal the doors leading out. Could you please find one and bring it here?
Okay. How?
Give your greetings, and the wisp will follow.
Hello.
Wisps are the simplest of spirits, but quite helpful. Bring the wisp here, and we can unseal the doors.
Door's open. Where to now?
This should lead us to the upper chambers, where we can free the bell. There's someone I'd like to consult with on the way.
So, Professor,
Just Emery, please.
you weren't that surprised we need a fate expert.
The spirits talk. Even the simplest have been clamoring about chaos in the Fade. Someone coming to consult wasn't an if, so much as a when. echoes of the despair spirits, misery devouring itself. We should keep our distance. If provoked, these manifestations will shatter. Strange. This door shouldn't be here.
Shouldn't it?
The necropolis rearranges itself every so often.
Can't do this without a wisp. This is locked too. I didn't see any wisps around.
Then I shall call for aid. They've answered. We'll need to guide the wisps who've just arrived to the door.
Those wisps really came just because you asked.
They care for us, Rook. Our ever-loyal friends amongst the dead.
Here's our second wisp.
Calmest spirit I've ever seen.
The peace of the necropolis is a balm to many of its inhabitants.
Must be nice.
Ah, yes. I've noticed you've company. Strange. This door shouldn't be here.
Shouldn't it?
The necropolis rearranges itself every so often.
We need a wisp.
Well done. Past these chambers, we'll find some assistance with reaching the bell. Despair is far more pervasive than I'd thought. We must stop who's ever drawing these spirits here, Rook.
You think a person's behind all the despair demons?
Oh yes, mortals are their prime attraction.
More trouble. Henry, do that again! We need to close in. Well done, everyone. Ready when you are.
The battle then!
How do we get rid of all these despair demons?
Their source is near the bell you saw earlier. Ringing it will banish them, but we must find who lured them there in the first place. Tell me, Rook, where are you from?
I spent most of my life in Antiva.
Am I correct in guessing you're one of the crows?
At your service.
You must tell me about your journeys once we're above ground. Here we are. This is where we'll learn who summoned these despair spirits.
But how?
You must open yourself to possibilities while in the necropolis. Would you mind lighting those braziers, Rook? This should unseal our final pass to the bell. It's best we unchain it quickly.
Then what?
The sunken star will drive away despair. Any malicious spirit that hears the tolling of the bell will be banished to the Fade.
Any malicious spirit?
Unattached ones. Your own companion will be safe.
Ah.
Excellent. Approach the body and we'll begin. By seal and flame, who brought despair in our midst? Despair! Who brought it here?
Venatori!
The Venatori. Of course. This way, please.
What did you just do?
The colloquial term is corpse whispering, a gift that manifested with my magic.
Talking to corpses with magic.
Honestly, I've no idea how the other Watchers navigate the necropolis without it.
Think I hear someone.
This map is useless. We wasted 3 slaves in those traps. If that Hand of Glory burns down,
So don't dawdle.
Found this Venatori.
They have no place in these halls.
I am driven to spring! Nice work! Now's your chance!
What are the Venatori after? Gold? Artifacts?
Raw magic. Their first enemies were obsessed with gathering power for some new master.
I'll fill you in on them later.
Despair. It doesn't see us.
Well, down one more despair demon. That's the last of them.
I see someone by the crates.
I don't think they're Venatori. This looks interesting.
Spirit labyrinths? I didn't know they'd learn to make miniature ones in Tevinter.
Hello? Did the Venatori bring you here?
They said I'd spilled the wine too many times. That I'd be a better sacrifice than slave.
You are in Navarra, sir. There are no slaves on our soil. Please remain here. After we've seen to the rest of the Venatori, I'll send for someone to escort you above.
Oh, all right.
Those Venatori dragged that man down here just to die.
The Watchers will shelter him. We'll inquire if he has any family in Minrathous. As for the Venatori, what remains of them will be put to work. The Sunken Star can help us if we break the Venatori's chains.
Right.
one, Rook!
That's the last chain.
Must return to the lower level to ring the bell. Be ready. The ritual to wake the bell will draw Despair's attention.
And any more Venatori.
I'll need you to keep them occupied while I work.
There's the Venatori.
End it now! Leave a little for the rest of us, Rook!
Venatori brought demons. How are we doing, Emmerich?
The veil is still awakening, but we must fight a little longer.
Nicely done, Rook! Please keep...
We're halfway there. Look behind you!
Steady, Rook!
We have them now! The grand necropolis shows itself!
Oh, despair means.
Pretty impressive.
Thank you, but come, let's ensure these cultists didn't leave anything dangerous behind. I'll ask our attendants to gather their bodies later, of course.
And this is a severed hand.
It can't be. A hand of glory? The Venatori should never have this. I must find out where it came from. Let me know when you'd like to return to the chambers above.
Let me take one last look around.
Shall we depart?
Let's get back to the lighthouse.
You can tell me why you've sought out a Fade expert on the way?
I know it's a lot, but I swear we've seen the blighted elven gods ourselves.
It would explain recent Oniric disruptions.
At the least. The implications of what Rook's witnessed are... Ah, thank you, Manfred.
No one ever brings me tea after I slog through a haunted crypt.
My assistant, Manfred. Always thoughtful.
You spoke of danger to the Fade.
The elven gods planted Terran wide open to get to the Blight. And they've already messed with it. Demons, tears in reality. Our team needs a Fade expert.
Many Watchers never depart Navarra. But with events so dire...
I'd be delighted to assist.
It has been many years since you left us.
Well, yes, but elven gods, ancient magics. I couldn't bear miss this. Besides, I've spent my life exploring the Fade and speaking to spirits. If Rook needs an expert, none are better qualified than I.
Only if your assistant's coming.
Manfred? But of course.
Welcome aboard.
Wonderful. I'll gather my things. Come, Manfred.
The Grand Necropolis was at peace again, and Emmerich was off to a new adventure. But in Navarra, nothing stays down for long. The Venatori had unearthed something no one should have, and delivered it to the worst possible person. Emmerich's journey would soon bring him face to face with the gloaming lantern.